Hi, Rebecca. How you doing?
I'm good, Scott. How are you?
Good. Hey, as my collaborator on the AI section of the latest survey that we just did that culminated in the online marketing recruitment practices report, I wanted to circle back with you and see what you thought of the data. You know, so I guess the question that I keep on thinking is when you finally got the data back and you looked through it,
Mhm.
what was to you the most interesting or impactful thing, or one of the most important or interesting things?
There was a couple of things that stood out to me. One of them is the data is supporting what those of us that are in the industry, I think, are already feeling, in that almost everyone, all of us marketing and enrollment management professionals, are using AI some way, shape, or form. 89%. And so that is one of those that you're like, I felt like that's the way it was. It's nice to have the data that shows that. The one that surprised me is that nearly half of the cabinet level members are also using AI and considering implementing it if they're not already in the process of implementing it at their institution. So if you are working in the trenches, you're an admissions counselor, you're a marketing person, and you're using AI to help you get more work done, but you don't feel like your boss is going to be quite there yet, and that's something you can approach about, like, hey, there's this new tool out there, it's going to be X amount of dollars, or even being straightforward with, I use Gemini or I use Chat GPT to help me write this marketing copy. I think you would be surprised at your cabinet levels acceptance and interest and support in using these generative AI tools that are out there. It's simply, there's so much work we need to get done. And in a lot of cases, we aren't staffed to get it all done. In fact, I don't know that I've talked to anyone or been around anyone in the industry in the last 3, 4 years that says, oh, yeah, my staffing levels are what I need it to be. These tools really are a way to help us get work done in a way that 2, 3 years ago, I couldn't even imagine having that extra tool. So
Yeah.
I I would encourage all of my colleagues in the industry to talk with their cabinet about it, talk with their cabinet about what other tools can we bring on and make it truly part of how you run your office.
Yeah, I would encourage everybody to download the report because, folks, what you're going to see is, I think we had 10 or 12 questions, and Rebecca and I worked through these really well, as of course you know, Rebecca. And whether it be what are they doing now, what are they doing in the next 12 months, what are they already are seeing as the impactful things, what are the things, how are they assessing if or thinking about efficiency. There's just a ton there. It's interesting. When I write a survey, there are several kinds of questions I'm doing. There's one which is a question that I instinctively know the answer to, but we need to document it, or that I know that our stakeholders out there know instinctively, but they need the data behind it. And then there are others, and this is where our collaboration in this thing really worked well, which was things that we didn't know the answers to. We
Mhm.
hoped for some of the answers, um, but you have to put it out there, and it's a gamble, and then publish what we found. And I just think that across those questions, there was just so much that an AI advocate can use to push the
Mhm.
needle forward in really meaningful and, by the way, non-threatening ways. And so, what's your final thought on how folks can use the full set of data that's in the report?
I think there's a lot of really good nuggets of data in there. One of them that I know if I was still working at a university, I would absolutely be using is our data around chat tools and generative chat tools. That's one that the universities I was at, we tried a chat tool years ago. They probably only 5 years ago at this point, but it was a lot of work. It took a lot to maintain. It didn't give us the results we want. It became a thing that, like, we killed it because it was an expense and it wasn't what we needed. And so, but now with generative chat tools that can link up to your CRM and things like that, I do think it would be absolutely worth going back to your higher ups and being like, hey, I know we tried this a couple of years ago, but gosh, they've come so far. And this is something that's becoming an expectation that students have. And it'll help, like, address some of those baseline questions so my team can focus on other things like that. Those are those types of nuggets that I would look at this study and pull out and use for when maybe they're conversations I've already had with my boss 3 times, but now I've got some data that isn't just coming from me that says, hey, but there is this study that says everyone's going to be doing it. and it's an expectation that students have. And I know we've tried it, but like it's different now. And so that type of nuggets that are in this, I think they're just throughout this whole study.
Excellent. Well, hey, we're trying to keep this short, so thanks for doing
Yeah.
this. Folks, look at the link right below is where you can download the report. Please do so and get in touch with us if you want to talk with somebody about how to apply it at your institution. Take care.